Thank you, Prashant, for saving us few minutes.
Thanks, sir.
And with this session comes to an end. All the presentation which has been made here is all videographed, and it will be available online as well as on the request. If you need, it can be provided to you. So I think we will really wish to skip the question answer session unless there is some one or two very specific questions we can take up. Otherwise, we'll wind up the session, go for a tea break, and then come back to the next session.
Questions on artificial intelligence.
That was an enriching session.
Okay, we have time. We have time, so we can take more questions. Yes.
Hi, good morning. My question is to Guneesh only about the artificial intelligence. Guneesh, what I feel is this artificial intelligence is like an uncontrollable monster. Means you would not be able to, if I reach to some level, I buy some softwares, I reach to that, then again there is something evolving out of it. And some new things are coming up. So what I feel was that we all know that these things are happening, these researches are being done. Can you please give us certain generic names or some specific names like in design development softwares, or like you told about the email communications or something about the retail softwares? If you can tell us few softwares or some generic companies who are doing this.
Okay, so I'll probably get you a list. I don't remember offhand the exact names of some softwares. For example, there are some design softwares which are now available, being developed out of Silicon Valley. I'll get you a list of names actually. When I was doing research for this artificial intelligence thing and what areas are going on, I prepared a list of things and I'll send it across to you. But I don't remember at top of my head specific things which will be able to do it. But let me tell you one thing. I will give you an example. For example, the Mac Mail that is now there, the software which is now being loaded on Mac Mail is coming with inbuilt artificial intelligence on the mail. And it is actually learning from your behavior how you operate on the mail. So most of your devices, your handheld devices, are actually having certain softwares already preloaded coming in.
So that is actually what problem we feel is that which software we should look for, because there are innumerable number of softwares which have been developed. So this is the main important thing, that how to choose from them. That becomes very difficult.
Agree with you. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
And moreover, what I feel is that to handle these softwares or these technologies, we need a now different set of skills. Like to handle all these IT things and softwares developed, we need people like, even if we have a merchandiser who had been doing manually, but now when he's using software, we need to develop those kind of skills in those people now for that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that is not just for artificial intelligence, but anything. Today, the skill sets which were relevant, 20 years ago, a lot of it is not relevant. So that is an evolution. So that will keep happening.
Probably we'll have to follow the Brandix model then. To start with that.
Keep.
That they ask people to stay back home, that government will pay for sitting back at home because the rest of the work is done by the computers and others. So in India also it's going to happen that.
I have a question for Brandix as well. Artificial intelligence also. See, everything has to go in tandem. You can't just say people, because over the textile industry era only, things have changed so much. The embroidery industry has changed. So when you talk about Brandix, it seems so like picture thing. It's not like that. In real world, textile people, you ask them, you are actually a theoretical person. I don't know how much you have got into Brandix, other issues. You talk to most of the textile people, they are facing bureaucratic problems. You have not even touched that problem, Every day in, day out, they are facing problems from that segment, from, I think, union ministry or some labor commissioners. You are not touching those things and you're talking people and employee. What about the employer part? Because he has to run the show. What he needs to do. So that is why we have to talk about technology. Artificial intelligence, I think, has to be incorporated, because otherwise you will not be able to tackle that kind of volume. When you're talking, you want to grow, you want to multiply, how do you do that? So when you talk about AI and whatever, if it is XI or AI or MI, we have to, we have to evolve. So even handling human resource, we are evolving. 20 years back, the human resource was a different guy. So you have to tell me that where is the, is branded that beautiful and they have no problems, and how do they face it?
How can we achieve a right mix
Right
for a balance?
combination, yeah, we need that.
Again, in terms of brandings, that beautiful or not, see, any business you face all kinds of issues. So I have told you a particular aspect of business. So the issue is now when you, as like all other companies which are there who have not followed the process which they have followed, for you is to start, I am saying there will be artificial intelligence that will be used, the people who need to be trained well, so there will be a confluence you will find always. But at the same time, have we done in that aspect of bringing people to that level where they start responding to you the way they should respond till the artificial intelligence catches up? So you can't say that, no, I have started ignoring people, but anywhere in 2 years artificial intelligence is going to come. So that's what I'm saying. So when there is a thought like this, so there has to be a both process. There has to be a confluence of both. So, and to be honest, nothing what I have talked to you here is anywhere theoretical. That's why I gave you example of, so any business you tell me, anybody, even suppose Elon Musk is running a business, is he not facing any problem in his business? Whether it's bureaucratic, whether it's people type, or whether it's artificial intelligence. It's a part of business. That's how you run the business.
I want to say something. I think this conversation is being made out to be, artificial intelligence versus humans. I mean, I think, that was not the point of what I said. Okay. Point I said was, I think technology has made our life better. And, we all talk about Google Maps made better. Google Maps made the map industry irrelevant. You remember map hota tha, and I remember my cousin used to carry a big map atlas thing in his car so he could check maps. So it's not, we like technology when it helps us. So point I'm trying to say is, let's look at technology not as it's not against people. It's actually going to help us become better performers and actually lead a happier life. That's the point I was trying to say. It's not about going out of jobs or jobs. तो यार 100 साल पहले जब वो पहले टेलीफोन ऑपरेटर होते थे तो ऑटोमेटिक आ गया डायलिंग. So there were thousands and thousands of people who ये होगा कि unemployment हो गया, नहीं हुई. Things progress and we move forward. It's our ability as human beings, because the way to create wealth and more money for people, because that's a very important objective, is to be able to make people more productive. One way, of course, is he's talked about, and the whole point of this conference is to get different points of view, and not that I disagree with this or he agrees with me. It's the point is, there was one aspect I talked about and one aspect Prashant's talked about, and I think a good mixture works well. It's not anti, and I think that's very important for, I want people not to kind of go with that impression, etc. I think it's important for us to realize how do we approach it. And one Tony mentioned I'll just wrap it up, Tony mentioned very important thing, it's about learning and training people. We need to learn and train people constantly. One is about being better humans, because in fact, हम humans के साथ ही रहते हैं. So, we need to learn how to deal with them better, but to learn and assimilate technology and to leverage it for more productivity, so therefore we can all make more money. So that's a very important objective. So I just want to make sure that there is no...
Are people ready to change their mind? Because we are a labor intensive industry.
Yes, I think we are all ready. You see what the mobile phone was doing for you, and what you are doing now is a smartphone. So we are ready. I mean, people are accepting, as he said, that technology, whenever it is suiting you, helping you, you are ready to adopt it.
Yeah.
So that answers your question. I mean,
but then come the factor of investment.
Investment,
That changes
over the
everybody's
period,
mind.
any technology, over the period you have seen, especially the electronics, it gets cheaper. Mobile phone, the smartphone you can buy in 3,000 rupees today. It used to be when it was launched. So any technology, over the period, once the usage starts growing, when the clientele becomes bigger, the prices starts coming down. This is the beauty of electronics industry. Initially it's expensive, but in a normal course of time, it becomes affordable.
So if I specifically talk about India, is India ready to take that first step in future maybe?
I think India has been quite smart, and Indians are considered smarter in adopting the technology whenever it comes. You see, when iPhone 7 is launched, within, I think, 3 days it's available in the Gafar market. And one small example I tell you about this Indians' smartness with the technology. You remember there was a case 2 years ago, there was a terrorist attack in US, there's somebody, and they found an Apple mobile phone. And they went to the Apple company to decode this. And Apple said, sorry, it's a privacy law. No matter the person is a terrorist or a normal person, we cannot open it. I heard, I don't know, I mean, it could be just, a story on India. They said the FBI team traveled especially to India and went into Gafar market and got it opened.